even started?
A very good evening to all of you. Sorry for the long wait, but just trying to organize the logistics. Thank you everybody for making it this evening. Yes, I have so many friends and known faces around, but just to greet a few of them. Thank you, Rati ma'am. Thank you, Menka. Hi, how are you doing? A very good evening to all of you. Sorry for the long wait, but just trying to.
Yeah.
Welcome. So I am Pooja Jaisingh from Funky Pathshala. Good evening, one and all. And I'm going to be your host for this evening's book launch. There are some rules, very few rules. I don't want to start your evening of the wonderful book launch where we have a lineup of many interesting activities and the launching of the book. But two small rules, if you could please help us to follow. One, stay on mute during the complete event to enjoy the event. And please keep your videos on because I'm trying to capture these lovely moments, which is like a virtual book launch, a second event for Funky Pathshala. So I now hand over the screen to Katie Badri. Thank you, Katie, for the wonderful opportunity for Funky Pathshala.
Thank you, Pooja. Hey, Meda, what's cooking?
Katie, it's supposed to be our book launch today. Remember?
Oh gosh, book launch, I completely forgot. I better get dressed. I'm in my kitchen attire. That won't do.
The guests are already there, and I'm in my kitchen attire too. But maybe we should begin anyways because our book is all about kitchen and food.
Oh, you're right. Oh, a very good evening, one and all of you lovely people, and a very good morning to those of you who have joined in from the US. It must be really very early in the day for you.
We warmly welcome you to our program today. Thank you all for sparing your time to celebrate the launching of our book, Sugar, Spice, and All Foods Nice.
Well, first things first, I would like to introduce to all of you our chief guest today. She is a dear friend with a warm heart and a very good soul, Menka Shivdasani. Menka is a lady of no mean achievements. Menka Shivdasani has 4 collections of poetry and is the recipient of the Ethos Literary Award for Poetry and Rabindranath Tagore Literary Prize Certificate for excellent contribution to literature. She co-founded the Poetry Circle in Bombay in 1986.
A widely published poet, Menka has edited 2 anthologies of contemporary Indian poetry for the American e-zine www.bigbridge.org, an anthology of women's writing for Sparrow, and an anthology of Sindhi partition poetry, Freedom and Fishers, published by Sahitya Academy. Menka is co-author and editor of 18 books with Raju Kani, 3 of which were released by the then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And I now request Ma'am Menka to kindly say a few words. So you need to unmute yourself, ma'am.
So I've done that. Thank you so much. And thanks for that very generous introduction. It's a little embarrassing to have that kind of introduction being read out. I'd first of all like to congratulate you for this amazing book. I had the privilege of seeing this book in manuscript form, as you know, and I found it absolutely delightful. It is a beautiful concept, very well organized work, and so creatively expressed. It's also an important work for it showcases a very essential part of our lives. So without food and without the people who grow it and cook it for us, where would we be? And that's the other thing I really liked about your book, Katie and Nida. The fact that it is dedicated to farmers, who many of us tend to forget about when it gets to food, except them, that they feel the need to use their voices. At a time when the farmers' agitation is in the headlines, this book, and I quote, is a reminder to all of us of those who till the soil, sow the seeds, and grow the foods that reach our plates. To them we owe our sincere gratitude. Don't you agree, children? We should remember the farmers at a time like this, and without them we really would be in very difficult circumstances. The other thing I liked about this book a great deal is the fact that it has weight in the fact that both the authors are scientists by training. Professor Rajadaksha was head of the Department of Life Sciences at Sophia College, and Katie Bagley stood first in microbiology at the University of Bombay. I think I should give both of them a big hand for that. And both of them bring this tremendous knowledge to their writing, which is why Sugar and Spice is as educational as it is fun to read. There's a celebrity chef called Guy Fieri who says, cooking with kids is not just about ingredients, recipes, and cooking. It is about harnessing imagination, empowerment, and creativity. I'm sure all the little chefs in the audience will agree, and so would their parents. So congratulations, and thank you for inviting me to be here. It is a real pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minka. Thank you. Now, I'm sure all of you are waiting for the main program, that is the release of the book. Aren't you?
Yes. May I ask my very special friend, Paulomi Babre, to do the honors along with our chief guest, Menka?
Yeah.
Yes. Paulomi, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. Yes. So, Paulomi, would you like to release?
Yes. Hi everyone, and yeah. Hi everyone, and I'm Paulomi Babre, a 9-year-old from Navi Mumbai. Today, actually, it's an honor to be here, and also this book. I really liked it because of the poems. The poems are really very. It brings a delight to the young cooks, and also it is very educational for the young minds. It also like not without Tiffy too and Simbolin, and also not leaving behind their doting grandma. This book is completely full of cookery and cooking. Cookery or cooking, you might say, is an art where one can use natural ingredients to make a mouth-watering dish. I really liked it a lot, and it was very educational. Again, I say, because it shows that how farmers and other people who help us to grow food, there are different types. Like even our day-to-day potato and peas, like how they are grown and how they bring taste to our food. That is all of it is written in this book. I can't explain everything because it's too wonderful to explain in words, but it's simply a fantastic book. Now,
you can untie the ribbon.
Yeah, now I'll just untie the ribbon. Yeah. The ribbon is untied.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Paulomi. Thank you.
Thank you, Paulomi,
Thank you.
for your
Thank
lovely
you,
speech.
Menka.
Do you want to say anything more, Paulomi?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Friends, like everything, this book too has its own story. Every book has a story about how the idea originated. And this is the story of our book. When my son was a little boy, he was appearing for science quiz exams called the Bal Vidyanik. Those who conducted the exams would rightly so ask questions from immediate surrounding of the child, kitchen being one of them. Questions like, how does a pressure cooker work? Or why do you see bubbles when water boils would be asked. Spices, fruits, vegetables, their names, their origins were favorite questions. This was a very good exercise because the kitchen, which was otherwise ignored, was appreciated as a lab with lots of interesting things happening. We, my dear friend Katie and I thought, why not present for the new generation the excitement of discovering what is there in the kitchen, especially related to everyday food, and present it as a book of verses, which will be a lot of fun as well as it would be informative. So we have put together this book of poems or rhymes, whatever you would like to call them, with a lot of illustrations, bits of interesting facts, especially for you, dear children. We have also taken this opportunity to thank the farmers and all those who actually toil in the fields, orchards, plantation, agro industries, so that we can cook a wonderful meal every day. Over to you, Katie.
Yes, I agree. But in fact, in many homes, the kitchen is the least frequented room. This book endeavors to impress upon the reader that the kitchen is the most happening place. It's like the pulse of the house. You get all kinds of aromas, you hear all kinds of sounds, the sputtering of tadka and the hissing of a pressure cooker. And it's like a laboratory where experiments are carried out using different veggies, spices, different techniques in cooking, boiling, or marinating, or whatever you do. It can be very stimulating to a child, as the kitchen is where the child learns chemistry, physics, botany, maths too, in the most incredibly fun way. And now I would like to give you a sneak peek into the book through a video. My dear friend, my dear young friend Kabir Jai Singh, who's 11 years old from Funky Pathshala, has used his talent and skill in putting together this wonderful video of some of the illustrations in the book. So maybe have a sneak peek into the book through the video, please. Here is Kabir, the grandmaster of the video. Thank you, Kabir.
Now I would like to share the video.
Yes. a big hand for
Yes,
making this
thank you,
video.
Kabir. Thank
It
you
was
so
really
much.
beautiful. And I felt like dancing to the music. I'm sure all of you did.
Thank you. We are
Right.
delighted. Should we move on, Katie?
Yes, yes.
We are delighted to have here in our midst Anjali Kalani, a primary Montessori guide of the Houston Montessori Institute, who would like to share her views about encouraging children to spend time in the kitchen. Anjali, I hand it over to
Anjali, can you please take over?
you. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Thanks. I'm so excited to be here. And I have to say, Kabir, I really enjoyed your video. You might have to give me lessons sometimes. I don't think I can do as good a job as you. So my name is Anjali Kalani, and I'm a Montessori teacher and blogger in the Houston, Texas area. And I've been teaching children between the ages of 3 to 6 for over a decade now. I also have 2 children of my own who benefited from the Montessori method, and both of them are accomplished chefs. My son cooked his first meal of dal and rice when he was 9 years old. I had this article deadline and I thought I wouldn't be able to cook that day, but he came to my rescue, found a Madhur Jaffrey cookbook, opened up a page, found the dal recipe, and made us dal and rice for dinner. Now he's 12. He's also an expert at making aloo ka parathas, croissants, and pie.
Oh.
So he way exceeded me in the kitchen.
Wow.
My 10-year-old also enjoys baking, but she's a little more partial to sugary foods. So I have to limit that sometimes. But it's really what saved us during the pandemic. And she realized that she preferred being in the kitchen creating stuff compared to spending time in front of the screen. And I don't know about you all, but I call that a complete win.
Absolutely. Yes.
So now that you know a little about me, let me tell you what I'm going to talk about today. First, I'm going to talk to you about why children should be involved in the kitchen. And it's got more to do with just getting them away from screens, which we also want. And I'm going to read a little excerpt from an essay that my daughter wrote about baking. And then I'll specifically talk about the book, Sugar, Spice, and All Foods Nice, and why it appeals to me as a mom and an educator. As I just mentioned, I teach children between the ages of 3 to 6 in a Montessori school. And Montessori focuses not just on academics, but the development of the whole child. Our goal is to prepare children for life. And the kitchen, believe it or not, is actually part of the curriculum. Before the pandemic, food preparation was a huge part of our day in the classroom. In fact, as soon as the children came into the classroom, they would ask if they could cut fruits and vegetables for the day. And of course, before they'd start, they'd wash their hands, put on these cute little aprons because it was an entire process, their chef's hat, and then get down to business. And there were 3-year-olds using real knives in the classroom after we had given them lessons, of course, because safety is important. But before you think that the kitchen is part of the curriculum because it's a play school, let me tell you that my kindergartners leave me well versed with their multiplication facts. They can recite their tables up to 10 at the age of 5 and 6. And they've also experienced division. So it's serious schooling where the kitchen plays a huge role. I also had my children baking bread on a daily basis because a very prominent Montessori trainer said they should be cooking every day in the classroom, and making bread is one of the best things to do. So, of course, all of them wanted to come and bake bread every day. So I had to come up with a way to kind of limit that. I said, you can only bake if you read the recipe to me. And I found that even the most reluctant learners, readers, were ready to bake and read the recipe to me because they just enjoyed it so much. So what the children didn't realize, and this is where the benefits of reading and of working in the kitchen lie, that they were doing more than just baking bread. They were actually working on gross and fine motor skills. They were lengthening their concentration. They were working on their independence and their self-esteem. And they were working on science, math, and language skills. There's so much math and language in the kitchen. My daughter learned her fractions over there and science as well. There's addition, there's subtraction. And when children become readers, they can read you the recipe and follow the directions. And that, I think, is reading comprehension at its finest.
Yes.
The best part, however, is that they don't even realize that they're doing all those things. All they focus on is the end result of their hard work, and they feel really proud of themselves. I have a little excerpt of an essay that my daughter Ria wrote about baking. She would have read it out to you guys today, but she's fast asleep. So here it goes. Ria writes, "Hi, my name is Ria. I'm 10 years old. Today, I'm going to tell you about baking. When you bake, all your stress floats away and is replaced with pure joy and happiness. Anyways, it makes you feel accomplished when you finish baking. It makes you feel proud of yourself when you look down at what you made. At the beginning, I suggest you start out with simple, easy recipes and make cookies, cakes, cupcakes, and brownies. This is classic Ria. Don't take her advice to heart. She loves sugar." He continues, "Personally, my favorite part of baking is mixing. It's great fun to just whisk all the ingredients together and form a smooth batter. Don't worry, you can maybe sneak a bit of the frosting or sugar when no one is looking. And the cake tastes so much better homemade than the store-bought one. If you can bake on the weekend, then you can have a piece of cake after lunch. Have fun. Bye." So I hope Ria inspired some of the children over here to get into the kitchen and bake. But just go easy with all that sugar. I hope that I've also convinced the parents to spend time in the kitchen with their children because there's so much fun and bonding to be gained over there and sneaky ways to get math and language involved. Yes, cleaning up is a little time consuming, but you will help make your children independent and self-confident by spending time in the kitchen with them. So the time invested was totally worth it. As C.S. Lewis said, children are not a distraction from more important work. They are the most important work. Now, I finally get to talk to you about why I love the book Sugar, Spice, and All Foods Nice. It resonated with me both as a mom and an educator. On a personal level, I really enjoyed the book because it reminded me of the time I spent with my grandma in the kitchen. And as an educator, I think the book is just a fountain of knowledge for little children. It makes for a perfect read aloud, not just because of the storyline and the rhyme and rhythm, but because it's peppered generously with historical, geographical, and scientific facts, in addition to so much vocabulary enrichment. It's also an enjoyable book for independent readers. This book might also inspire children to eat better, get involved in the kitchen, and grow their own fruits and vegetables. Sugar, Spice, and All Foods Nice is literally nourishment for a young child's mind. In fact, even I got to learn a few facts from it. So thank you for that. I hope you and your children enjoy the book as much as I did. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anjali. That was very inspiring, I'm sure, to all the children and even their moms. I'm sure today they're all, tomorrow maybe, or today, they're going to rush to the kitchen and try out their various experiments. And I think that'll be wonderful too. So thank you for talking about all this and
Thank
about
you,
the
Auntie.
book.
Thank you very much.
Yes, really appreciated what you said. And friends, now we have here in the audience another dear friend and dignitary, Miss Usha Thorat, who has written the foreword to this book. Miss Usha Thorat is the former Deputy Governor of Reserve Bank of India and also former Vice President of Bombay Natural History Society. And she's a very good friend of mine too. So dear Usha, I would invite you to please share your thoughts with us.
Katie, this is the second time Ma'am Usha is doing us this favor.
Yes, yes,
Because our first venture too, she was there.
yes, for the zoo around you.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Medha, Katie. It's been such a lovely program and I've been enjoying every minute of it. And kind of, it's all been, and I think the COVID lockdown has brought families very closer together. Kitchen are really bonding with their while trying out different recipes. I totally enjoyed this book of Katie and Medha because I think it did it made the whole thing lots and lots of fun. And plus, like you all said, it gave also so much food for thought, apart from enabling you to produce something interesting to eat. I think both Katie and Medha have that unique ability of being able to draw out a child's creativity and imagination. And the illustrations were really delightful. Thank you so much for inviting me to write the foreword, and I totally enjoyed the book. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very
Usha.
much.
Thank you so much. And now I can see that the little authors of Funky Pathshala are getting excited and they're very restless. They're secretly warning me that if I don't let them read a poem from the book, they will, oh no, they will boycott this program. Please don't do that, little authors. Please do go ahead. They're going to recite the first poem of the book, which is like an introductory poem, Taming Cymbeline and Defeat too. So are we ready to start, little authors? Ridhima, will you like to start?
Yes.
Very good.
Taming Cymbeline and Defeat 2. Cymbeline and Defeat 2 did all they were not supposed to do. They walked through puddles and wet their shoes. They ran up the stairs, leaping by two. They switched lights on and off again. They pulled out plugs, driving all insane. They jumped on beds and on chairs too, but nobody scolded Cymbeline and Defeat 2. For Defeat 2 and Cymbeline, kitchen was the best place to be in. Lots of fun with opening tins. Lots of fun pulling out the bins. Cups and saucers were there to play. Spoons, forks and knives made their day. Taps to open, milk to spill, the round spice box to mix the fills. Nobody knew what they would do next. But nobody scolded Cymbeline and Defeat 2. Cymbeline and Defeat 2 were like little monkeys out of the zoo, were up to tricks. In and out, smiling at you. If you shout, they knew you. Just couldn't scold the adorable twins, just 7 years old. One day, Grandma had enough with Defeat 2 and Cymbeline. You need to be loving but tough. She decided to make them sit, listen to her just a little bit. Let's listen to stories of sugar and spice. Teach them lovely songs to sing, steady their feet and give them wings. They would surely quickly grow to fly into a world all new, smart and well informed, dear Cymbeline and Defeat 2. So here are poems from Grandma's Toe.
all for you, and of course for Cymbeline and Tiffy too. Thank you.
That was wonderful. All of you deserve a big clap. I think everyone should give them a big clap. They were very, very good. Excellent, isn't it? Lovely. Okay. And while the little authors were reciting, guess who sent me a secret message right now? It was Paulomi. She too would like to read out a poem. Go ahead, Paulomi. Which one are you going to read? Not
Yeah,
in
sure.
Okay.
This book written by author K.T. Bagri and co-author Medha Rajadhyaksham. From that, I'm gonna read a story, a poem, and that's called Not Enough. Sputter, purr, grr, whir. What's the buzz and what's the din? Together cried Tiffy too and Cymbeline, rushing like the whooshy wind, making a beeline for the kitchen. Do not fear, my little dears. It's just the new coconut grater. I'm readying for tonight's dinner, trying out this special recipe using coconut paste for Thai curry, said Cymbeline. Well, that's well, but just look at the coconut shell. It's got 2 eyes and a mouth. It looks spooky without a doubt. Tiffy too quaveringly declared, pretending to be very scared. On her head, she placed the coconut cord. Look at my wig, I'm an ogress lord. Cymbeline, not to be outdone, adding his own wig to the fun. Stuck some coil over his lips. Doesn't this mustache look brown and thick? Makes me look quite wickedy big. Grandma looked at the looked with twinkling eyes. For her little imps, she had a surprise. To eat, she added a steel tumbler of delicious chilled coconut water. They gulped it down in a jiffy before you could say Cymbo and Tiffy. Grandma giggled and chuckled, but the two of them settled with bleak waited to be regaled by her coconut tail. Grandma didn't need any telling. She began her story most riveting. It may sound weird and nutty. The coconut is not a nut actually. Maybe you can call it a seed, or maybe you can call it a fruit. Botanists call this fruit a drupe. Every part of the coconut tree is useful to a great degree. And here the fronds for making thatching roofs and even for making brooms. The trunk is carved into canoes and the coir is woven into mats and ropes. The charcoal from dry coconut shells is used in village as domestic fuel. And the toothsome coconut meat. Don't we all love to eat this treat? And make it into kinds of sweet, various dishes, chutneys and curries. As for the coconut oil, did you know? Does wonders for the hairs and skin sores. But where did the coconut originate? That's a mystery botanists still debate. Since this wondrous fruit is buoyant, it melody rides the waves of oceans. On and on across it can float from shores to islands to far off coasts. Grandma's story was suddenly interrupted when the twins, their stomachs loudly patted. The irresistible smell of the coconut curry. It smells yummy. We are ever so hungry. I really like this poem a lot.
Thank you so much, Paulomi. Thank you.
Thank you.
You recited it very well, Paulomi, really. Okay.
Now I can see another friend and colleague of mine who's presently the Vice Principal of Sophia College, Yasmin Khan. Yasmin very kindly agreed to review the book in some sense, and she's going to share her thoughts about the book with you. Yasmin, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Medha, and thank you, Katie, for allowing me to a peek review of the book before it has been released. And like many of the other guests have already said, the really nice thing about this book is the amount of information that you all have imparted, the fun and the verses. And I mean, I learned a lot of new things as well. And we have this feeling that, children live in a fairy world and they don't like to know facts. But I know that children, if they're given bits of information, including trivia, they retain this all their lives. And I think they appreciate when the information is provided in a factual way instead of just as a form of a fairy tale. And therefore, and I'm a science teacher, and like both of you have a science background, it feels nice to see a lot of scientific facts coming out in this book. Simple things like, for example, what's the difference between pulses and cereals? Not too many people will be able to answer that, and it's so beautifully explained with this. The other interesting thing I thought was, your little bit of activity of how you can grow your own plants. Things that children can do very easily in the house. And like everybody said, in this pandemic times, this is probably the right time to start these sort of activities. You have gone through the whole range of food items, from fruits and vegetables to pulses and cereals. You even dropped in a little bit of your moral values of how salt and pepper, even though they are different, need to work together. All these little bits of this thing there's a nice flow of the whole lot of, you can read through the book. There is no sequence. There is no, this thing. And yet it is, every article gives you a new bit of information. So, I mean, including your article on spices, which was great fun because you made it in the form of a riddle. And then you start children thinking. And not only that, then you gave them the scientific names of all the trees and the vines that are used for that. I think that was really brilliant. So thank you very much. I really enjoyed the book. Thank you.
Thank you, Yasmin. So kind of you to say all this.
Thank you, Yasmin, for being there. And thank you for your thoughts, sharing this. We're really, really happy to have you here. And now, the eager beavers of Funky Pathshala do not want to be left out. They too would like to read the poem, and a poem which they're very cool about. Why? Because it's about the cucumber, a veritable wonder. So, eager beavers, are you ready?
Yes. Cucumber, a veritable wonder. Cymbeline was shocked one morn to see Gran lying on the living room settee. On each eye a cucumber slice. She looked pretty cool and nice. Gran is playing I Spy with you and me, he exclaimed to his twin sister with much glee.
She's playing pirates, declared Tiffy too. I'll be the ship's captain and you be the crew. Grandma jumped with a hearty laugh. I am treating myself to a cucumber spa.
And cucumbers for salad, Tiffy was aghast. Cucumber slices feel soothing on the eyes. You feel relaxed. You feel so very nice. They also remove any puffiness, said Gran in full earnestness.
Cucumber for salads, not for pirates. From his cage, called the parrot. Keep quiet, scolded Tiffy too. Listen to Grandma's tale, won't you?
Cucumbers have uses to a great degree. Its pulp can shine your shoes in a jiffy. And amazing as you may think, its skin can erase stains of ink.
And a slice when passed against the palate. Any bad breath it can easily dissipate. Rich in minerals and vitamins too. Drives away your stress, drives away your blues.
Gran rubbed some cucumber pulp all over her arms and neck. She scrubbed. Cucumber, she said, is the best bet for nasty sunburns, don't forget.
The twins were now hungry. Such rumblings in their tummies. Grandma, your story sounds very cool. Cucumber, a magic veggie though be, can't we have it in sandwiches for tea?
Here are a few tidbits about the cucumber.
Nothing like eating raw cucumber sprinkled with a little salt and chili powder. To relieve you with all of the summer heat, it is believed that the inside of the cucumber is much lower in temperature than the outside. No wonder we have the phrase, as cool as a cucumber. Cucumbers have a great degree of nutritious value too, containing minerals and vitamins. Much of the cucumber, however, is water. Way back in 1494, the explorer Christopher Columbus had carried cucumbers to Haiti in the New World to grow them there.
That was lovely, Eager Beavers. Thank you very much. You were very
much.
cool,
This
very
was
cool.
Very
again.
good coordinated feeding. Excellent. Katie, would you introduce Ruhan?
You want me to say that? Okay.
Okay. I will now request my grandson, Ruhan, who has read the book and maybe also critiqued it to improve it and given us some nice suggestion, because he's 9-year-old who read it as a 9-year-old and told me what he likes from it. So now he's going to read his favorite poem, The Brown Delight. Over to you, Ruhan.
The Brown Delight. Tiffy Took and Cymbeline. No sugar, as sweet, pure and white. Transparent crystals that melt in the mouth. Made from sugarcane, an absolute delight. But Grandma came up with another sweet. A piece of jaggery crumbling in the mouth. Golden brown solid, a wonderful treat. Added to puddings, mixed with the dough, eaten by itself leaves you craving for more. One day, the twins had some questions to ask. Answering them was for Grandma a lovable task. Jaggery, Grandma, how did you make? Is it difficult? How long did it take? It is not me, Cymbeline and Tiffy too. It is the farmer making it for you. Just like the sugar from the sugarcane juice, jaggery too is a sugarcane produce. Boiled in vessels stirred hard and well, a dash of lime lets the cane juice swell. The wood particles and some things more slowly rise upwards to the top. They are skimmed off in a jiffy, made free of all froth. Then appears the golden tinge, thick, syrupy, hot liquid, all ready for the binge. Cooled, cut and made into blocks, jaggery now looks like soft brown rocks. And as you make jaggery, you get something more. It's molasses, a sweetener some folks just adore. Thank you, Grandma, for the story from your store. Like the sweeteners from sugarcane, you just pulled out one more.
Lovely. That was very well recited, Rohan. Thank you so much. Thank you. Lovely.
As we move on, you all must be wondering how and where you can avail of a copy of our book, especially because it's pandemic time and maybe it's difficult to go to the bookshops. It will very soon be available on Amazon. The great Amazon, where we keep ordering things in this last 9-10 months. And for those of you who would like a signed copy, please share your name, address, and number. You can share it with Mr. Anand Limay of Inking Innovations. He's the publisher. Or you can share it with us. Mr. Anand Limay has very kindly agreed to send you a signed copy to your address along with the payment details.
Pooja, I will request you to please enable me screen sharing so that I can put up the slide. Pooja?
Katie, done. I have enabled.
Yeah, okay. Right. So friends, you can take a snapshot of this because all the numbers are here. The email IDs are there. You can send us by email or you can WhatsApp to us your name, number, address. Okay. Mr. Anand Limai, Inking Innovations, his number is here, 9322232454, or his email is anand@ipworks.in or indiaprintingworks@gmail.com. Then my email is katybagli@gmail.com. My number 9819002696. Or Meda, her email is rajadyaksha.meda@gmail.com. A telephone number 9821896338. So you can either WhatsApp the details or you can email to us, and the book will be there at your doorstep, a signed copy. So do take a snapshot.
Or you can copy it down. You
Yeah,
just
you can
take it
copy
down.
it.
We'll just give a minute or so for them to take it down.
Yes. And Mr. Anand, I believe you're there in the audience. You had a meeting, but I think you have joined. Would you like to say something? Yes, please do.
Oh, very much happy to be associated with Meda and Katie for last 8 years. We have published their 6 books till now. In fact, this was not at all our line of children book, but they taught us how to go in the market with the such type of books. And we are happy, very much happy to share this book and launch today. We heartily congratulate Meda and Katie for their this endeavor, and we are definitely assuring you that whatever next book you write will be published.
That
by
was
us.
so
Thank
nice
you.
of
Thank
you.
you once again.
That was very nice of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes, Katie, we are in business.
Thank you. Okay. And now, Meda,
Yes.
what's up?
I think for the kids, there have been too many serious talks. So now a little activity. It's now quiz time. So put on your thinking caps, everybody. The quiz is open to everybody, young and old. But the quiz is going to be rather small. It's just 5 questions. And you have to type your answer in the chat box. The name of the first person to answer correctly will be read out.
1 minute. Pooja, will you help please read out, because I'm finding it confusing. There are so many messages in the chat. The first, yeah, okay, I will also read, but if you can also help, please. Yeah, all right. Meda, please
You
go
and
ahead.
Pooja are handing that part.
Yeah,
I'm just
yes.
reading out the questions. Question number 1. Is the tomato a fruit or a vegetable? Think.
Oh, we already have so many correct answers. The first person to answer correctly is Sanaya Agarwal of Eager Beavers. Hey, Sanaya, big clap for you. The tomato is considered by botanists as a fruit. In fact, it was recited in the poem too, right? It's a fruit, not a veggie. But very strangely, unlike fruits, we don't use tomato to make desserts. And in fact, like a veggie, we use tomatoes in salads. So we are nutty nuts too. Anyway, next question.
Second question. Which country introduced tea to India?
It's Twisha, China. Twisha answered.
No.
No.
Do we have options? No, we don't have options here.
No, we don't
Can we
have
give them options? Can we give options? Meda, what do you say?
Yes, go ahead. Maybe you can give.
3 options. To which country introduced tea to India? Was it Britain? Was it Africa? Or was it Australia?
Chat is disabled.
You have to, that is disabled. 1 minute, she said. Somebody said.
Now it came back. Now it came back.
Okay, so please type. Which country? 1 minute, yeah? Somebody, okay, the correct answer, the first correct answer I see is from Twisha. No, 1 minute. Before Twisha, also there are several answers. Oh, 1 minute. The first correct answer goes to, yes, to Zara. Zara Habib, again from Eager Beavers. It is Britain, Great Britain. Big clap for you, Zara. Yes. And even Ahana, both of them, Ahana Shetty, I must admit, she was also there.
Yeah,
She was the first one, my mistake. She also said Britain. Britain, the British.
Thank you.
Here, and then they started their cha, and you know, you want chai and all that. And then we became addicted to tea. Anyway, okay.
Question number 3.
Yes.
How many varieties of potatoes are grown by people of Andes?
Here there are options.
Options: 4,000, 2,000, or 1,000.
No, somebody's okay. This is coming so fast. The answers. The correct answer again goes to Zara Habib. 4,000 varieties of potatoes are, yes, cultivated by the people of the Andes. I think it may have been a guess, or she may have known, but it's true. Can you imagine 4,000 types of potatoes? I didn't know that until I did some research myself. So we have not the usual, just the usual potatoes, which are off-white in color. There are potatoes which are orange, red, pink with yellow spots, yellow with pink spots, and all kinds. It's incredible. Anyway, next please.
Question number 4. Who coined the word coconut? Options are the Spanish, the Portuguese, or the Dutch.
Quick. Oh, there are several messages. 1 minute, let me see who was first. Yes, it's Ashwin Srinivas, I think. Yes, Portuguese. The Portuguese were the ones who named the coconut, gave the name coconut. It came from the word cocos, which means...
I can see my messages before.
Your messages before? No,
Yeah.
but you've written Spanish, Dutch, Spanish.
No, I wrote Portuguese.
Yours is next. Ashwin's is before you. You are next, Vihan. But both of you have a correct answer. The Portuguese, they named it actually cocos. Cocos means a smiling face or a grinning face. Because the coconut is like a face, isn't it? Once you remove the outer fiber, you see those 2 black eyes and a little black mouth, which looked like a grinning face to the Portuguese when they came here and saw the coconuts in India. Right.
Last question coming up. What did the term black gold in India refer to? The black volcanic rocks of the Western Ghats, the black pepper, or the black rock salt?
Okay, someone has already typed the correct answer. It was Vanya. Vanya typed the correct answer, black pepper. The others were a little late. Many people have typed pepper. Yes, black pepper. People came, you know, from Europe way back many years ago. In those days, there were no planes. They came by ships. They had to navigate through, you know, brave the storms and navigate through all kinds of weather. And they came in their sailing ships, took about 2 to 3 months to reach India, just so that they could trade with India for the black pepper that we had. And they would exchange goods. So it was considered as black gold. So very good. That was a good attempt. And I hope you all enjoyed this quiz, everyone. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Come on. Yes. I enjoyed.
Yes. Now we are almost at the end of our program, but we can spend a few minutes to answer some questions in the chat box. Maybe Pooja, you can help us in that? If there are some
Any questions you like to ask generally?
About the book?
Or whatever about, yeah.
I think there'll be more questions once you get the book yourself.
Yes, Pooja, you saying something? Yes.
Yes, I have a question for you. How do you manage to make time writing books after such a heavy schedule? I know you so well now. I just want to know when you write and What inspires you? How do you bring about your new topics of books?
The topic for this book was actually the seed was sown by Medha, as she mentioned about the story. But how do you spend the time? Okay, how do you get the time is it's a passion. And when you have a passion for something, you can always make the time for it. If you can squeeze it between your schedules, you can do it anywhere, anytime.
Do you have any specific?
Pooja, very good question. Katie has just love for kids and she loves to write for them. And I think her passion gives her a lot of energy, more than any of us have. I think we should give her a clap because
but the clap goes to you too, Medha.
Tag on with her, but she's the real author of a lot of books for children. This is my second endeavor with her. This is our second collaborative project. And I have really enjoyed working with her.
We have had a fun time working together.
Yes,
we really worked in sync.
Yeah, for many audience probably who don't know the hidden talent of Medha ma'am, she's amazing with doodling. I remember attending her event in BNHS when Usha ma'am was also a part of it, and she hosted a book launch. So yeah, we do look forward to a workshop with you on doodling, ma'am, whenever you can make it.
See, another interesting thing about our collaboration is you will not be able to make out who has written which poem.
I was just going to say that. We ourselves, wonder whether this is written by me or by Medha. That's what, when I go through the poems. Yes.
Thank you, Katie. Okay, let me just read some messages on the chat for you. Okay, I think price of the book is a repetitive query from all our audience.
All right.
Yeah, and how many poems?
The price is $290. $290.
90 for the book for all of you. And how many poems? Okay, Ridhima, our FKB little author, has a question. How many poems?
How many poems?
I think about 22 to 24.
25.
We
I think
added a couple of them towards the end.
Yeah, I think about 24.
Yeah.
24 or 25.
24
to 25 poems. And Menka has a message for you all. Katie is also one of the pillars of my 100,000 Poet for Change Mumbai Festival at Kitab Khana with Mrs. Rati Dadiwadia. Yes, Miss Rati ma'am and Katie, I think Menka has said it all. You all are definitely the founding members and pillars of this. You have really.
Thank you, Menka. You are the main curator.
Thank you.
Menka, you give me the chance to. And Rati is great. Rati is
nice to see you, Mrs. Vadia. So nice. And Meghna is also there with us.
We couldn't do it without your support. Without the kind of...
Please unmute Rati. Unmute and say.
While Rati ma'am unmutes, I must say we have like a good fraternity from the entire literature world. We have Menka, whom I have worked closely with. She is amazing, and I haven't really read on her books, but definitely I hope to do so in near future. And Rati ma'am, can you unmute yourself? We would like to hear some words from you, please.
We can't hear what you're saying because you're on mute, Rati. You can't unmute her, Peter. You can't unmute her.
If Rati ma'am would press Alt-A, that would unmute her.
You can press Alt-A in your keyboard. Alt and A together. Oh dear. Or Rati, if you drag your cursor down on the screen, you will see mute written. Click on that and the arrow will go away.
Yes, I think you did it. You just did it.
No, but it's gone back to mute. Do it again.
Okay, Rati ma'am,
there. She's done it. Okay, now tell us.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
First of all, I was so thrilled to get a message from two of my students, Anjali Kalani and Meghna Rajyadaksh.
Okay, lovely.
Right in the
Anjali
beginning.
was your student.
Yes, yes. And Menka and Katie are my students, of course, you know that.
Yes.
So I enjoyed this so thoroughly. And every time Katie has a book launch, she's been telling me, and I go to the museum here, there, with great difficulty because transport is so difficult for me. But amazing launches she has, so creative, so dramatic, and so wonderful. And the first time that Katie and Medha, you had the book and you sent it to me, and Katie said, Medha knows you very well. So I was wondering, I said, Medha Rajyadaksh, I know my Meghna Rajyadaksh. I don't know who Medha Rajyadaksh is. Then I realized when I talked to you that you were my Meghna's mom. And of course, we had been together, but I didn't remember your name. I only remember the names of my children. But it was wonderful. And I would love to have the book, but I don't know how to pay online or anything of the kind. So
don't worry, we'll take care of everything.
Yeah. Ratima, now that we are at it, the names of the kids, Tiffy 2 and Cymbolin, are derivatives of twins, names of twins Meghna has. So their name is Tiffy, so she has Tiffy and Symbol.
Wow.
These are the
twins. You know, Medha, you have not kept your promise. You had promised that you would take me to see my twins, but you have not kept your promise.
Has been very busy. Your student has been very busy, but now we'll do it.
Yes, after the pandemic.
Yes.
So on the left, you see Tiffy 2, and on the right, you see Cymbolin.
Oh, wow. And Medha, your little grandson is the son of your son?
Yes.
I never knew you had a son. I never knew Meghna had a brother. How wonderful, really. And he recited beautifully.
Very well.
Words were absolutely clear.
I wish I was your student.
But do you remember our trip to Lucknow?
Yeah.
All right.
Meghna has got this from her mommy, I'm sure now that I can say. She was a very good writer in school. And there was an essay competition for the first time introduced by the ICSE Council for classes 9, 10, 11 and 12. Meghna was at that time in class 9. I was the principal of the school at that time. And out of all the children from 9, 10, 11, 12, Meghna from the youngest class had won the competition for the essay that she had written. I've got a copy of that book also with me. And we went to Lucknow. Her mom, her dad, myself, and Meghna, we went to Lucknow to receive that prize. What a wonderful trip we had. But what is most important now, that surely this is the talent which her mom has given her, has come only to me right away, because I never knew earlier that you were a writer too, Medha.
And it'll be passed on to Tiffy 2, Cymbolin and Rohan.
Yes.
I think we should move on.
We have some more questions. Audience participants want to know, how do we order the book online, and even a physical copy, how do we go about it? So can you please share some portals from where it can be ordered?
As mentioned earlier by Medha, you can order it in a short time. It will be available on Amazon. And if you want the actual copies, signed copies, then I had shared the screen with the numbers and the email IDs. You can send your name and your number and your address. You want me to put up the screen just once more?
I think so. I think so.
Okay, I'll just share the screen once more. And you can quickly take a snapshot of the screen, please, so that you can contact us or Mr. Anand Limaye, and we will take care of it. We will see that the signed book is couriered to you, along with the payment details, whatever. Okay, so, all right, so, yeah. All right, then I think I'll stop sharing, because I think now everybody is quite hungry.
Yes.
evening snacks, or for those of you for whom it is morning, I'm sure you're longing to have your breakfast. Started the day with a book launch and now it's time for your breakfast. That is the drawback of this virtual event. Sorry, we can't serve you snacks virtually. So you can charge into the kitchen and make yourself some cucumber sandwiches.
Ma'am, can I take the snapshot?
Okay, sure. 1 minute. All right, be ready with your phone and I will share the screen. Yes, can you tell me when you're done? Have you taken the snapshot? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So we won't hold you back very much longer.
Yes, it has been a long session.
And but you have to wait for one thing.
Very
Cannot
important thing.
end without acknowledging all those who deserve to be thanked. So we begin with thanking Pooja Jai Singh for having hosted this Zoom meeting and having helped us create a YouTube channel, that wonderful YouTube channel through which the live streaming has been done for many more people to be able to watch this event. Thank you, Pooja.
Our sincere thanks to all the eminent poets, authors, and people in children's literature field, Menka, Anjali, Anita, Lubaina, Janice. Your time is precious.
Usha and Yasmin.
And I'm coming to that. These people are in the children's literature field, and their time they have spent with us has been very, very, very kind of you to not only spend time just now, you have sort of gone through the book. It's very kind of you. A very warm thank you to my friend Yasmin, and of course to Ma'am Usha Thorat, who has been with us in the earlier launch and has readily agreed to be with us this time. A warm thank you especially to all teachers and librarians who are there with us. A big thank you to all you kids who recited the poems. You are lovely.
Yes.
You're amazing. A special thank you to Kabir Jai Singh for making that wonderful video.
Yes. And last but not the least, have I left out anybody?
No, 1 minute. I would like to take this opportunity to thank again Mr. Limaye and Vijay for the publication of the book, and to all our friends and family who have always been there with us. Over to you, Katie.
Yes. So I was saying there is somebody missing. Last but not the least, we thank all those who attended our book launch, young and old. Thank you, everybody. And don't forget to order for your copy. It may be a signed copy too. So with that, goodbye. Thank you.
Thank
you
so
much.
Good night to all those in India, and goodbye. And have a good day.
Good day to those who are from the US. Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hope you all enjoyed.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you, everyone. Yes. Bye.
Bye. It was amazing.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Shraddha.
Bye.
Katie, I'm so
Bye,
proud of
dear.
you.
Bye.
Oh,
Bye.
Chetan is there. Thank you for attending.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Meera.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.